We are back at home as the Raiders have a Week 12 matchup against the New England Patriots, and not just the Patriots, it is Tua and the Patriots. But as we take a look at what happened last week, we want to try something a little different here, as in Week 11, we took a victory against the Tennessee Titans where Thomas DeShong had over 200 yards and 3 all-purpose touchdowns. Sharu caught the touchdown. And on the other side, Trey Lance was the quarterback of the Titans, and he did not do all that much. Neither did Derrick Henry, but the first overall pick, Raleigh Cordula, had a nice game of 79 yards and a touchdown. Take a look at the AFC West standings now as the Raiders jump to 7-4, tying them with the Broncos, but we have the head-to-head over them at this current moment. And we are still both chasing the Kansas City Chiefs, who are at 8-2, yet to have their bye week. And it's a big game if we want to keep contention in the AFC West. It is Raiders taking on Tua and the Patriots up next. And here onto the field comes Tua, the big offseason stunner this past season. The Dolphins feeling like they can move on from Tua as they could not come to a contract agreement. He goes and jumps in the same division to the Patriots, where he has started his career in New England off with a 14 touchdown to 5 pick ratio. Solid stuff from Tua. Obviously, there's going to be some adjustment, not in the Mike McDaniel offense, but on the first play, he takes a shot downfield and has it complete all the way to the 49-yard line. And now Tua will throw once more, and he has another completion, and Tua is starting off the day very well, 2 for 2. Tua throwing once more outside, and it's caught. Not quite a first down. It'll be a 9-yard gain. Since Belichick has moved on from the Patriots, this team has made a lot of moves, and one of them right there is Darnell Washington, as he has a hot start to his game. They go running back Kevin Harris as they are down Ramondre Stevenson this game, but going back to a lot of the changes, their receiving core is second-year man Ross Kyle. It is George Pickens, formerly of the Steelers, and in a trade from the Colts this past year, they picked up Josh Downs. So a lot of movement in this receiving core, giving Tua some weapons, as on third down they throw it out the back of the end zone. The legal man downfield penalty really did hurt them. Patriots will take a field goal, and it'll leave Thomas DeShong to come out into the field, as the defense was able to stop them once they got in the red zone after that hot start, and only give up a 3-0 deficit as DeShong with his 19 touchdowns to 5 picks, and he has added a lot on the ground. Of course, we are still without Josh Jacobs as we hand off to Alex Peralta, who has taken the majority of the carries since Jacobs has been gone, but this team has really done more in the passing game, and not too much there going our way, as it's 3rd and 5, threatening to go 3 and out, and we go to DeAndre Hopkins, and it gets broken up. Patriots take back over, and they go to Harris, and Harris will not go very far. This Patriot team does like to run the ball still, even without Belichick on the team, but they are going to have to throw it more, as without a viable starting running back and all these weapons at receiver and tight end, they got to throw it, and that's throwing it to Mike Gesicki. They chose to hang on to him over Hunter Henry, and he is proving to make that a good decision, as Gesicki has had a little bit of a resurgence, linking back up with Tua. I find it impressive what the Patriots have done with all these improvements to their weaponry, as that's caught, and it's a first down for Josh Downs. And now Tua to throw once more outside, and just short hopping that one to Pickens at 2nd and 10. Tua to throw again, and he's got Pickens this time to the 30-yard line. And George Pickens with his first catch of the game. Tua clean pocket, and he just misses his target on that one. No pressure really affected him. He just missed it, as Tua now will throw, and it is caught by Ross Kyle. 3rd down once more. Tua has some time, but it will roll right into a sack. That's Eric Armstead. Tua went probably the worst way he could have went. He could have stepped up in the pocket and had some real space to create, but instead he just turns around into Eric Armstead, and the Raiders hold him to another field goal, as Peralta will have himself a 3-yard carry to start our drive, as Venable checks into the game at running back, and DeShong to the air. He'll throw, and the linebacker swats that one down. 3rd down and 7, threatening to go 3 and out once more, and that'll happen as the block couldn't be picked up by the running back, and Uche gets the sack. 2 straight 3 and outs for the Raider offense. At least we have our run defense, as they have not allowed anything. Harris loses a yard, but 2 in the air will throw, and it's dropped off the hand of Pickens, and it's 3rd down and 11. Screen set up, going to Harris. Can he get to the marker? Yes, he can. He breaks the tackle of Gabe Marietta, and he's got the 1st down. They go to him on the ground, and he gets some room, and there goes Harris. Marietta this time brings him down. They're at the 40-yard line, though, and Tua will throw. First quarter comes to an end with a completed pass for 6 yards. It has been all Patriots in this first quarter. It's been really difficult for this Raider offense, who's barely touched the ball. 2 3 and outs. They go Darnell Washington, and that's going to be a flag on Marietta. I think that's going to be a face mask. Yes, it will be. And the Patriots now are in the red zone once more. It's been a really bad start from our Raiders, as at the 15-yard line, play action. Tua will get sacked. That's Tyree Wilson. And Tyree Wilson's having such a breakout season, as he could be Pro Bowl bound, as Harris will take the carry. Get to 3rd and 14, though. It's a 3rd and long. Once again, the red zone. Can we hold? Tua will throw underneath. He's got Gesicki. Nowhere to go. And once again, this Raiders team has kept us in the game. The 3rd field goal hold of the game already. It is 9-0 as Venable gets upended. 2nd and 13, and this has been awful starting from the offense. Thomas Deshaun 1-on-1 in the open field, and he can't make a miss. Deshaun goes down. Deshaun will be fine, though, as Heineke will come in, and he'll throw a pass, and it's caught by Smith. And Jonnu Smith, the former Patriot, gets it to 4th and inches. We are going for it. Deshaun back in the game, but it doesn't matter as we hand it to Josh Moss, and he gets the 1st down. We finally get our first down of the game, and Sharu on the bubble. He gets 7 yards, and now 2nd down and 3. Deshaun read option, and Deshaun will cut it inside. Does he got the speed? He breaks the tackle, and Deshaun gets to the 45-yard line. Finally in opponent territory. It took us till nearly the midway point of the 2nd quarter, as there's Peralta running over a man. He gets 4, and now it's 6 to go. Deshaun will spread the field and will throw, and he's got Sharu underneath. 3rd down and 1. 2 tight ends on the field. We go handoff. Peralta. And Peralta's got some room on the outside. And Alex Peralta will get it to the 23-yard line. And now nearing the red zone. Finally a scoring opportunity as Deshaun will roll left. He's going to just duck out of bounds. Late hit doesn't get called. And Patriots might have got away with one there, as Deshaun will throw incomplete. 3rd and 9. He missed his target. And now Deshaun, end zone open, man, that's caught, touchdown. And Justin Perez hung on to the shot taken by Jabril Peppers. And that is an incredible throwing catch right up the seam. The perfect play call and the perfect throw from Tua to start the Patriots drive. It is 9-7 as Tua wants to respond. And this time he wants to get in the end zone as Gesicki has it past midfield. The Patriots moving the ball with ease. Play action will throw back across the field. Gesicki once again, 4 yards for him. Now with under 3 to go, Tua outside will check it down. Marietta brings him down before the 1st down marker. 3rd and inches. They hand it off. No, they go play action, and it's going to be a sack. Stanley Camper. And once again, this defense makes a big play when we need it, as the Patriots get no points on that drive. Deshaun read option goes nowhere. Now we set up a screen right side. We have Sharu getting blown up. And 1.5 to play. 3rd down. You don't want to be too aggressive here. He floats one up top for this Peralta. And the booth is going to take a look at this one, as he brought the catch down. They say out of bounds, but that angle doesn't really show us much. This angle will give us a bit of a better view. And you see 1 foot, 2 foot. Peralta, he got his feet down. That's going to be a catch. And Deshaun in the offense stays onto the field. Deshaun will hit as he's thrown. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. And to the air we go. Throwing one up top for DeAndre Hopkins. And it's incomplete, out of bounds. 3rd and 10. Deshaun now will throw. And he's going to float one up top. This time he's got Sharu, and he missed it. A shaky start for the Raiders in this first half on offense. And it costs us a potential touchdown there, as Gesicki continues his great first half. Another troubling game with tight ends for us, it seems. As 2nd and 10, they go with Tua in the air, and it's going to be caught, but nowhere to go. Only a yard. 3rd down. If we can get this stop, we can maybe take it to half. And Tua's going to get sacked. Tyree Wilson. And that's going to be the first half coming to an end, as with the final 20 seconds, we just took it to half. And the Raiders only about 100 yards of total offense so far. We've stopped the run very well, and we've played amazing when it came to third down situations. But other than that, I can't really find too many positives other than the fact that it's only a 2-point game. But this team's got to play better right now. We are in position to try to compete for this division title, and we cannot allow, Tua to throw for over 300 yards when he's on pace for, in this offense to just struggle the way we are. If it wasn't for our defense making big plays on third down, this game could easily be, like 21-7, could be 17-7. But luckily, it's 9-7. We have a chance. We'll see if we can do better in the second half. Here in the second half, where our Raiders need to play better. 7 points in the first half, still a 2-point game. As on play action to start the second half, we go with Kalen Shanny. That's going to be a big gain to the 39-yard line. Pop pass. Jaden Sharu is going to cut back inside and go outside. Now Sharu down the sidelines, and Jaden Sharu weaving his way through defenders, and he gets to the 20-yard line. That's a big gain, and the Raiders offense already looking way more explosive in this second half as Deshaun will throw underneath. There's Justin Perez, rookie third-round pick, caught the touchdown earlier. Now 3rd down and 2. We go with Peralta, nowhere to go. It's 4th and inches we're going for. Fullback dive once again, and there's Josh Moss getting the first down. That's what he's here for. 1st and goal now. Deshaun will roll using his speed, and Deshaun will still duck out of bounds and get to the 3-yard line. Good job getting something out of that, as Deshaun will go end zone, and he tried to get it to DeAndre Hopkins. Instead, 3rd and goal, taking the speed option, but he cuts it inside, and Thomas Deshaun with a rushing touchdown. And Deshaun puts the Raiders on top, and that's the offense we are more used to seeing. Now 14-9 as there's Stanley Camper in coverage. Great job smothering him and deflecting the ball. Now underneath, wide open. The Patriots are going to pick up a first down as Tua now has to respond. He has to get the ball in the end zone, something they have not done all day, as Tua will step up and run. A rare run from Tua, but he gets 3 yards on it. 2nd and 7, making adjustments at the line. Tua to throw, will roll left, and he's going to go on the run, and it's caught by Harris. And Harris gets brought down by Marietta, who's been flying around the field all over the football, as they go with a handoff now, and it's blown up. That's going to be Ellis Travis getting in there on the tackle, and 2nd and 7, quick throw underneath. That's caught, and Josh Downs gets it to a 3rd and 2. Drop back from under center. Tua on 3rd and 2, and he takes the shot over the middle, and a hospital ball gets caught by Kyle, but he hangs on, as now Jasecki gets it broken up by Marietta. 2nd down and 10, as the Patriots have dealt with this before. Are they going to settle for another field goal? 3rd and 10. They have to come up with a first down here, as Tua, he's going to run it, and Tua, we weren't prepared for the Tua scramble, and it's 1st and goal inside the 10. Tua to throw, and he's going to go underneath, and it's going to be caught, and he tried to lunge into the end zone. Josh Downs gets it to the 1. Toss play now to Harris, who gets stopped in the backfield. Nate Hobbs, 3rd and goal now from the 6. Tua, end zone, broken up, and the Patriots got to settle for their 4th field goal of the game. And the Patriots fans gotta be sick seeing that one. It is 14-12. Raiders are still on top as Deshaun to the air now. He's rolling and throwing to Peralta, who gets it to a 3rd and 1. Very good situation here as Deshaun will hand it to Peralta, who powers ahead. 2nd effort, gets the first down. And as the 3rd quarter is winding down, Deshaun will go play action and throw one. A risky ball. And Josh Sweat is down for the Patriot. And we will love to take advantage of that one, but we can't do so as Deshaun throws an interception. That's going to be a bad interception to throw, as it sets the Patriots right back up in the 25-yard line to potentially score. And the corner route to the 4-yard line will put them in great field position. They'll be set back a little bit due to a false start here, but they are still at 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Spreading the field is Tua. And he's going to roll right. He's going to throw. Camper in coverage. He swats it away, but it's swatted into the hands of Mike Jasecki for a touchdown. Are you kidding me? Stanley Camper had great coverage, and the ball somehow fell into Jasecki's hands. And it's going to be a touchdown, Patriots. They finally get into the end zone. And now it's 19-14. Final play to end the third quarter. We go to Kalen Shanny, who got free, and Shanny out of bounds. Fourth quarter upon us. We're at the 45-yard line. We need a touchdown to take the lead. Deshaun quick to DeAndre Hopkins. It's going to be 7 yards. Deshaun back to the air once more. He's got a clean pocket. He'll throw, and that's Jaden Sharu for the first down. Past midfield now, opponent territory. Deshaun. He'll drop to throw. Clean pocket. Deshaun lets it load deep for Kalen Shanny, and it's caught. Touchdown Raiders! Kalen Shanny gets by the defense, and Shanny takes us on top. It'll be the Raiders 20-19 as Kalen Shanny, 1 foot, 2 feet. Another touchdown for him. We go for 2 points to try to make it a field goal game. We give it to Venable. He cannot get it. We will take the 1-point lead. The offense has played much better in the second half, but now we turn to our defense to make a play as Kyle has it knocked away from him. 11 minutes to go, just about, as they hand to Harris, who has had nothing going for him on the ground. Hasn't even cracked 20 yards yet, and he's under 2 a carry. As 2 on third down, they go to Gesicki, and it's caught for the first. Gesicki's had predictably nice game. As tight ends, even if we, swat the ball away in the end zone, we still can't stop them from scoring on us, as they had Pickens for a no-gain play there as they go forcing the football to Gesicki, and it'll be a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 9 now. Tua. What's the defense got for us? Here's Tua. Will roll right into Max Crosby, and it's going to be a sack. Max Crosby gets in there, and it's 4th down. Raiders take over, and now we can take control of the game a little bit with a lead. 7 to go. We ran the clock out last time against the Chargers. Can we do it again? As Shanny, too far out of his reach. 3rd and 7. We cannot go 3 and out here, but it is thrown underneath the Peralta. It's going to be a first down, maybe a generous spot there, but we will take it. Peralta on the toss outside will lose a yard, and now under 6 to play. Deshaun to the air will go outside. Sharu too far for him. It was tight coverage anyway. 3rd down and 11 now. Can't make too many risky plays here, but this time he's going to get hit as he's thrown. And with under 6 to go, the Patriots take over as Tua throws an incomplete pass to start the drive. Now he's under center. They got plenty of time to try to drive down the field and get a field goal to potentially win this game, as that's going to be caught on the play action. George Pickens coming across the field, and he has it to the 34-yard line. They hand to Harris. Harris trying to break a tackle. He was tough to bring down there, but he gets him 3 yards, and he has 19 yards on the game. They go Gesicki, quick pass, and Mike Gesicki using some speed right there. Almost got by Jeremy Chin, but he barely gets brought down. Harris for a yard, and now 2nd and 9. 3 to go. Patriots on the edge of field goal range. Will throw. Knocked away. Pickens couldn't hang on. 3rd down. What has Tua got? And Tua will have a clean pocket. And when he gives Tua a clean pocket, he's able to deliver an open pass to Ross Kyle. And now with 1st and 10. Shot downfield. It's thrown away. 2 to go. We got Tua throwing once more. Curl route. That's Kyle. Now they're in the red zone, and now they have all the position to run the clock out if they want to. They throw quickly to Gesicki, 3 yards. And now the Raiders got to start wondering when they want to use their timeouts. There's 1:40 to go. Tua will throw, and it's going to be caught. And Gesicki, he's in for the touchdown. Patriots. And New England did not opt to run the clock. They went for it all. They got it, and now they're going for more for the 7-point lead. Tua to throw, rolling right, and he's going to throw it short of the end zone. It's swatted away anyway, and the Patriots will retain a 5-point lead as the Deshaun and the offense have a chance to try to go down the field, get a touchdown to take this lead, but they do not have a lot of time. Deshaun now 2nd and 4 will roll right. He's got nowhere to go with the football. Throws it underneath. Jonnu Smith cannot make the catch. 3rd down and 4. What has Deshaun got for us? He'll throw underneath, and that's caught by Sharu. A little bit of a shaky pass there as with a minute to play. The offense has to move quickly. They got all their timeouts, and Jonnu Smith unfortunately could not get out of bounds. And now we got to hurry back up. We're saving our timeouts, and Deshaun rolling around. He can't get away, and he gets sacked, and now we have to burn a timeout. And we got a lot of field in front of us. 3rd and 23. Deshaun took that dangerous sack. Now he's going to roll. He's going to throw it deep into Deshaun. Incomplete. It's 4th down. We need a miracle here. Deshaun 4th and 23. Taking the snap. Deshaun's going to move left. He's going to throw back right. He's got an open man. Kalen Shanny's got the catch. And Kalen Shanny's too fast. Touchdown, Raiders. Are you kidding me? Kalen Shanny with 11 seconds to play. He goes 71 yards, and Kalen Shanny with the biggest play of his career, 2-point conversion. We keep it safe on the ground, but the Patriots now have 11 seconds to play, and they throw, caught by Gesicki, gets them in some Hail Mary position, but Tua, I don't think he's got a 65-yard arm. Tua to throw, and the Patriots, one final play, this is going to do it. He throws it up, and it's incomplete. The Raiders steal a win, and the Raiders go to 8-4 on the season. Are you kidding me? Kalen Shanny with a walk-off touchdown, basically. 71 yards. How do you let that happen? The Patriots were so close so many times. Just could not get in the end zone when they needed to. Settled for 4 field goals, and it bit them because in the end it was close enough for us to make one big play, and that one big play to Kalen Shanny was all we needed to break the hearts of all New England fans as they drop to 5-6 on the season, and their playoff hopes are hanging by a thread now, as the Raiders' division hopes are very much still alive. Gesicki had a big game, but who cares? Look at what Kalen Shanny did. 4 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Good teams will sometimes win games that they have no business winning, and the Raiders had no business winning this game, but we were able to do it, and that is a really exciting thing if you are a Raiders fan. As we calm things down a little bit, we got to move on to college football, and here's everything in the world of college football happening right now. This is your college football update, and the world of college football is having a crazy season as once again the number 1 team goes down. This is the 3rd straight week where we have had a new number 1 team in the nation. We went from Texas to Michigan. Now Ohio State is number 1. And the reason we have a new number 1 is because Michigan took a loss. A lot of things got shaken up in the Big Ten, especially Iowa in a defensive battle, as only Iowa seems to be able to do, was able to pick up a 15-9 victory over Michigan. And Michigan now drops themselves from number 1 all the way to number 4. It was a pretty bad loss for them as their offense, which had already been a bit of a concern throughout this season, looked real bad against Iowa's defense, and Michigan was only at the top of the polls really because they were the only undefeated team left. But there's no undefeated teams anymore, and it's like a wild situation as there's a bunch of one-loss teams all fighting for what they believe to be, in the playoff hunt. And that's not all, because the Big Ten wasn't done with surprises there as Northern Illinois, they go down, and they go down to Nebraska, Nebraska, after a slow start in the season, has been surging, and Nebraska had 2 big wins in Week 12 and in Week 13. They were able to take down Penn State and then Northern Illinois in Week 13, and then Nebraska finds themselves at 8-3, all the way up to number 13 in the country, and we'll talk about one of their players in a little bit. But Nebraska's been a real surprise to the college football world, and not a lot of people have been talking about them, not until now. As we take a step outside the Big Ten to talk about the rest of the world of college football, we had USC bouncing back with a nice victory as they are seated up top, the 2-loss teams at number 6 in the country, making their claim as the best 2-loss team. But not to be outdone, we have Oklahoma State after their monumental win over Texas not too long ago. They are keeping it rolling, and they are at number 7 in the country. We also had TCU take a trip down to Waco to take on the Baylor Bears, and Baylor was able to pull out a victory. And we will be talking about a Baylor player a little later on. But as we look ahead to the end of the regular season for college football, weeks 14 and 15, you already know one of the matchups, Ohio State and Michigan, have a renewal of their amazing rivalry, and it will be probably a game that determines who could very well go to the college football playoffs. But we also have Florida State in action. We have Texas, Iowa State. Iowa State's been a little down this year, but Iowa State's still dangerous as ever, as they are hovering around the 20s in the polls right now, so a little bit down of a season, but they're still doing their thing. USC versus UCLA, always a big game, 3 versus 6. And we have Oregon versus Oregon State. And Oregon is looking pretty good at number 11, and Oregon State, who, not in the top 15 here, but they are also lurking around at number 19 in the polls. So we'll have that, and we'll eventually see what the college football playoff picture is looking like and what the conference championship picture is looking like. And as the Heisman race heats up, we continue to talk about some of these Heisman players, as next episode we will be talking about the 2 Heisman players we have not yet talked about. But let's get into the players today. Maybe not as exciting as some of the other prospect highlighting segments we've had, but all 3 of the members that we will have today will be on the defensive side of the football. And we start off today with big defensive tackle Tyler Skuggs out of Texas A&M, who is an absolute force in the middle of the defense. And as you see the comparison there, I think Jarrell Casey is a pretty solid comparison. I think he has pretty solid upside and will come in to basically be a player who can play day one. He has really good use of his punch. Like he will punch and knock people back, very quick hands, and he gets off the ball pretty decently despite his 322-pound size. Now, I do think a major concern with a guy like Tyler Skuggs is at the 6'3", 322-pound frame, and he has a very high motor. He very much gives it his all in every single play. He tires very easily. He's going to be a player that you don't want to have to rely on to be on the field 24/7, because he just can't do that. He's not a guy who can be there on all 3 downs all the time. He's not a guy who is going to play every snap of the game. He's not a guy who is going to be, logging in those very high snap counts throughout the course of the season. So he very much needs to be a player who, even if he becomes a great player, needs to have some guys who can rotate in for him. So you're not going to want to have him there on a team with a lacking of depth on the D-line. So he's going to need some rotation. He does not have a great set of pass rush moves. He doesn't demonstrate amazing ability to just have good moves, and he doesn't anticipate the snap well. He very much has a late get off. When he does get off, he is quick. He has a quick acceleration. He gets off quick, but he's a little slow to react. So it doesn't look so bad because he's so quick getting off, but he has bad anticipation. So if that's something you can really figure out with him, he'll be a pretty good force to be able to have that quick of a get off, on top of improving his reaction, on top of a good bull rush. He'll get in and blow up some plays really well. And he's blown up some plays in college, but obviously the timing's a little different in the NFL, a lot less margin for error. If you can get those margin for error a little bit more refined and, give him a bit bigger of a window of opportunity to make a big play, he's going to make a lot of nice plays in the NFL. The only major concern that I don't really see changing is not a lot of stamina there. He's going to need to be rotated in and out. So Tyler Skuggs is a player I think mid to late first round, maybe more so mid. He's really talented though, and I think a team's really going to want a player like him. So we'll see where he goes. Now, as we move on, I said we talk about a Nebraska player, and here he is, defensive end Jarrett Laffey, who is, I think, off the bat, we can say the best 4-3 edge in the draft. Now, 4-3 edges are a bit more rare nowadays with the old school 4-3 guys who, will run a 4-6, 4-7 maybe. No, not flying off the edge, but they set the edge very well. They hold the edge very well. And he is a bit more of a old schoolish player at 280 pounds. He's not everyone's type of player, as now, like I said, the more modern NFL with the 3-4 defenses and, having more lean 230, 40 pound edges who run 4-4s, 4-5s. He's not that. But he's a very high floor player. This is definitely going to be a player I see going mid to late first round for a team that really is contending and they need a player to come in and be impactful right now. Laffey can come in day one and be an impactful player right now. He's got one of the higher floors in the class, but not a great ceiling. I don't think he'll ever be an elite player. I think he'll just be a pretty nice player throughout his career though. He rushes with a combo of both power and finesse. He does a little bit of everything. He can play the run game very solidly. He can do anything you ask of him at a very adequate to very nice level, but he won't ever dominate. He's never been a dominant player. He's just fine at everything. He has no major weaknesses, but no thing that jumps off the page and is like, oh my goodness, he does this amazingly. So for that reason, he's a player that could really go anywhere from mid-first to he can slip out the first entirely if players are, showing more potential and, teams want to prioritize that. But I think for a contending team that really could use some, edge rush help, I think he can be a nice fit on one of those teams. A team, like the Chiefs could really use a player like him. I think there are a lot of teams that will be interested, but there are a lot of teams that are be turned away from his lack of upside and his not so great fit in most defenses. But Laffy is a player who will probably see a lot of action very early on in his NFL career. And finally, we wrap things up with a Baylor Bear player, that is safety Steve McCutcheon. And McCutcheon, if you remember back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, a player like Nick Collins of the Green Bay Packers reminds me a lot of what Collins can do skill set wise. And you talk about what McCutcheon can do, great cover skills and great at zone coverage obviously, but he also can play some man coverage if he needs to. Good ball skills, a guy who had 12 interceptions in his college career, 43 pass breakups, and he's still adding to that as that hasn't accounted for what he has done this year. He can play in the nickel if he needs to. If you need him to start off his career in the nickel role, he can do that. But he can obviously be long-term a safety who can play up top. But I think where that comes in to hurt him is he played the star role, as it is called in a lot of defenses, where he is just the best player on the defense in the secondary, so they just kind of line him up wherever. If you remember, a guy like Jalen Petrie of Baylor as well played that same role where he just played a lot of nickel, played a lot of safety, moved around in the box up top. He can just move anywhere, and a lot of teams like that kind of versatility, but for a team that wants a straight up just safety, you might need to wait a little bit before McCutcheon's going to develop completely into that, but he allows some great versatility early on, and I think does have all the makings to develop eventually into being a great safety. Now, despite his 6'3", 225 size, he's not as physical as you'd maybe like him to be. He plays maybe more like a cornerback in that regard, a 6'3" cornerback rather than a 6'3" safety. If you see a 6'3" safety, you imagine him to be a great tackler, maybe a hard hitter. He plays more like a 6'3" corner who has great ball skills, but isn't as aggressive as you'd maybe like him to be, or as physical as you'd like him to be in that regard. Now, while he isn't aggressive when it comes to getting physical with other players, he's definitely aggressive when it comes to playing the football, and that is a risk you're going to have to take. A lot of players like this do like to make the big plays. They are put in a star role. There's a lot of pressure on them, and, in college, he has made a lot of big plays, and the NFL, some of those plays just aren't going to be able to be made with the degree of difficulty taking a big step up, and sometimes even in college, will try too hard to make the big play instead of making the right play, and he'll drive coaches crazy a little bit. And over his career, he's allowed some big touchdowns. He's played the ball a little too aggressively. He's tried to go for the pick when he should have just swatted it. And, there are times where it's come back to hurt his team, but there are times where it's come back to help his team. So it's one of those things, you give and you take the good, but you take with the bad, and you see what kind of happens. But if you can get him more disciplined in that regard, develop him as whatever it is you want him to be, whether it be a nickel corner or whether it be, a long-term primary safety, develop him wherever you want him to be. He has all the physical talent, he has the size to do so, he has the ball skills to do so, but it's going to take some work to do that. So I think for Steve McCutcheon, he's one of the more exciting players in this draft, my favorite guy in the secondary in this class, but we'll see where he goes and where they decide to use him and where he lines up on the field, as we'll be seeing him in a lot of different areas in his NFL career. As our scouting comes to an end, those were the players. We only have 3 more players to take a look at in the next episode, and then we'll be wrapped up with all the players that we will have to talk about. But as we take a look at the standings, at 8-4, our Raiders are looking pretty good, but there are some teams above us. The Chiefs, though, at 9-2 now have their bye upcoming. And as you take a look at the playoff picture, even though we're 8-4, we're sitting there at the 7 seed. It is a tight race, as only a game and a half separates the 7 seed from the 1 seed. Really tight race. But you take a look at the NFC side, the Cowboys are on top. And as we talk about the Cowboys, we will be playing them in the next episode. It is a massive, massive game. We have a massive test to see just how good of a team we really are. Can we go and take down the one-seeded Dallas Cowboys, who are Super Bowl bound potentially? It'll be a really big test for us, as we were able to sneak out with a win today. I don't think we might be as lucky next time around if we struggle like we did in the first half today on offense. So we'll see what we can do against Micah Parsons and the Cowboys. Can we move to 9-4 and maybe even 10-4 as we have sim games too? We will see. I will see you all in the next episode.